Everybody. I'm here. I am not live. I'm sending this recording out to you. I've decided to put a hold on Oracle for a little while. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this. So I racked my brain this entire month. It's January 26th. I had you know what at the beginning of the month. And then I had like 2 weeks of being exhausted and another week of confusion. And sitting here going, I have to come up with something because people have already paid for it. Cool. Okay. So I decided to just turn on the screen and record. I didn't even shower yet today. I've not put makeup on. I've had a couple client calls like this. This is what's happening today. I wanted to just channel a little bit about what's coming through me right now, where I think the world is going, maybe a little bit of numerology for the year. I'm just going to put it all right here. I don't know how long I'm going to talk for, but usually when I open up and things just start to flow, it's probably going to be one of the better talks I've ever had, but we'll see. We won't put that on me quite yet. Okay, so this month, the beginning of this year, has been all about Mother Mary for me. She's everywhere. She is in my candle. This is Guadalupe. I think I explained her in the Chiron talk, or the Black Madonna talk. I've got jasmine here, which is one of the flowers that represents Mother Mary. There are many flowers actually that represent her. Jasmine is one of them. Obviously, the rose is another. And a third is the lily, which you will see. I don't have the card pulled out here, but I do have my tarot cards. You'll see the lily across any card with the High Priestess. That and a couple others that represent the knowledge that it takes to be a priestess. Mother Mary was a priestess if you weren't on that train yet. She was a teacher to Mary Magdalene. And so she comes through me, yes, as the Virgin, yes, as the mother, but also as this force of unstoppable power. But it's a gentle power. It's a power that I would describe sort of like the Taurus bull has a power. There is a difference between the power of a bull, which is arguably the most powerful and strongest animal of the zodiac, and the power of the lion. The lion is also a very powerful animal, but not quite as strong. Mother Mary doesn't come across to me as a tiger. She comes across to me as the bull. The bull that is solid, stable, immovable, patient. Oh my gosh, the patience. And when you don't follow your calling, when it has to do with her, or even just in general, that's when the bull gets feisty. When you poke her one too many times. When you don't answer the call, you don't answer the call. You don't listen to your own authority, and you definitely don't hold your own power, own your power, or keep it close to you. You leak it out. That's when she gets a little pushy. Just like the bull. Poke the bull one too many times, and it's like, whew, knocks you over. So she, to me, reminds me of the bull. She's patient, kind, gentle, loving. But when you stop listening to what the call of your heart is when she will rattle the cage. She will get in there and go shake you by the shoulders. I'm like, what the F are you doing? So we want to honor her in a way and say thank you for pushing me. thank you for allowing me to understand that I've been leaking my power out. And that's kind of where I had been the latter part of last year. This year rolled around, I was sick, I wanted to quit, just a lot. The world was just a shit show and it became a little bit too much. Then I got better and the bull came raging back out. And it was like, this is what you're missing. You're forgetting your power. You're forgetting your superpowers. You're forgetting your contract, why you're here. Then it all clicks. She's here to help it click. So if there's something you want to gain clarity on in a way where it's embodied, in a way that it clicks for you, Mother Mary is the one we go to. And so I want to talk about power a little bit. It's oddly not the time in the zodiac to talk about power. We're in Aquarius season right now. Aquarius to me is the collective power. Aquarius season is contributionism, where each one of us comes together in our uniqueness to make humanity better. So it's a oneness born out of individuality. And so I guess power is a facet of this if we're talking about our personal power, because if we're not engaged with our personal power, we're not holding our personal power, or we are not owning our personal power, that is when we can't contribute. We can't contribute if we don't have those things. What are you contributing with? An empty cup and misaligned powers, more than likely. Right? You're probably giving something that's not even really yours to give because you think you should give that. Where is your specific superpower? And for me, a lot of what power comes with your gifts, the gifts you were born with, your gifts and your wildest dreams. Think about it. What is the silliest thing you've ever dreamt about? Owning that is your power. Because you know what? That can happen. Maybe not in the world that is alive right now, the way we all believe collectively, but it is possible, whatever your wildest dreams are. And sometimes they're so wild, you don't even know they exist because it's so unrealistic that you're just like, I don't have any dreams. I don't have any wants. And wants are also a place where your power lives. What do you want? Can you not feel it? I know that I have had a major, major want wound in my life. Drastically wounded by the idea of wanting something. So let me read you a little note I made the other day. Wanting for me equaled automatic victim state. Wanting equaled I can't have and never will have, and don't even think about asking for it kind of wound. And wants equaled a disempowered state. So what does that mean? I conflated, hooked in together, the word wanting and the desire for wanting things and never being able to have it. So when you say or think of the word want, or I would anyway, when I would say or think of the word want, immediately, without even thought, it was just a part of the definition of wanting, meant I couldn't have it, meant I wasn't worthy of having it, meant I wasn't allowed to have it, meant that I was wanting the wrong thing and I should want something different. And so without being able to want anything ever, you can't actually manifest anything. You can't manifest anything that you don't believe will come back to you. And this goes back to your wildest dreams. If you don't believe they can happen, they will never happen. And sometimes you have to put your crazy hat on and go, I'm going to live in a world where this does happen. Just try it. I swear. You can't hurt anything to just try the crazy hat and go, in my wildest dreams, I want to, this is where it gets hard because I'm going to have a hard time coming up with an example. Have a wild dream, write a book. I don't know. That's what came up. Write a book. I could never write a book. I could never be on the bestseller list, so why even try? What if it wasn't hard to write a book? What if it wasn't hard to get on a bestsellers list? What if everything was super easy as long as that's what I wanted? I don't know. Try it out. Put the crazy hat on. Live in the world where that's possible. Even if you have to kind of live in both worlds at the same time, in like reality world and crazy world. I want to have, here's a crazy one. I want to have a virgin birth. Think that's only reserved for Mary? I think she is the only one ever in this planet to have a virgin birth. I don't think so. I know so. So if it happens for her, live in the world where that can happen for you. Try it on. Believe it can happen. And that's my point, is to be able to believe it's possible. And a part of that means you have to believe you're worthy of it being possible. So if you can't want anything, you can't ever project anything out into the world, into the future, and move toward that thing with your energy, with your bull-like stamina. If wanting equals disempowerment, if wanting equals I'm automatically a victim and I just have to wait for somebody to throw crumbs at me and be happy with the crumbs I get, you will never be able to actually create the thing you want. Wanting is integral to creating. Desire begets creation, always. Source desired to know itself in all of its facets. So then it created facets. You must be able to desire before you create. Now, you can create, we create all the time with every single thing that we do. Every thought we make, every move we make. I'll be watching you. We create. To intentionally create requires desire. Otherwise, you are creating out of a hidden desire. More than likely, it's a desire to stay safe. More than likely, it's a desire to not get shamed. So you're creating this world based off of things you're trying to avoid, instead of creating a world of things you want to go toward, things you want in your life. And believing that you are capable of affecting change in your life, believing you are allowed to have the thing you want, puts you in a powerful position instead of a disempowered position. So if you're like me and you connect your wants with somebody shaming you for it, we've got to learn to unhook that, so that you can want and move toward the thing you desire and claim it. I want 8 people in my program this month. I desire 8 people. I'm allowed to have 8 people. 8 people is good for me, and I deserve it. I'm good enough to have 8 people. These are all examples. You insert where you need to. Cool. I can believe that that's possible now and actually start to magnetize into me via the archetypes that live inside of me already and the archetypes that live inside of these 8 people. I will magnetize them instead of magnetizing the opposite direction, like I was explaining over here. You magnetize things into your life based off of the archetypes that want to be seen but aren't by you or by others. And you start magnetizing vampires and narcissists and shamers into your life. So I want to really bring us back to, where is our power? What is it? And how can I stop leaking it? That's where we start to lose. We start leaking our power in all of these tiny little places. We're like this vessel made of clay with tiny pinprick holes all over it. So we're not busting at the seams, pouring our water out, but we are slowly bleeding out, leaking all over. We are a weeping vessel. What if we took some more clay and plugged those holes back up and became a whole vessel filled with our water, our life, our elixir, our essence? We held it there. And when it starts to overflow, it overflows through the top. We get to direct where the overflow goes. We get to have and do our sacred service to this planet through our overflow, and not through these things that kind of plug into us and suck us dry. So where do you leak your power? It's a question to ask yourself. I know in the past I've leaked my power in relationships, just by trying to overanalyze somebody instead of being direct and asking them what their intentions were. I would just try to read them, because that's what kept me safe as a kid. Reading people, that kept me safe, because I could tell when something was wrong and I could go and hide. Doing that in an adult relationship just creates miscommunication and codependency, really. So I wouldn't exactly say, here's my power, take it. I would have let it just come out, leak, seep. Another place I've seeped my power out is social media. And being a part of the black and white, if then, either or type of life, where there are evil people and good people, and we must fight the evil people. And watching what's happening in the world, going, there's this elite group of people that are ruining all of our lives. Leak, 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 leak. Every single time I've done that, instead of going, you know what? I get to create the reality I live in. They're feeding off of my power. Those people are getting exactly what they want. They may never even have to lay a hand on any of us. We're just powering them up with all of our worry, fear, anxiety, disdain for them. The best way to starve them is to shut them out and love them, kind of. It's hard. That's a tough one and a whole different conversation. But like in an entity removal, you don't hate the entity away. You actually have to love it away. You have to say, I know you're here for connection. I know you're here because you need to be fed. I know you're here because this person is such a light and you're attracted to them, but you got to go. I appreciate you and what you're trying to do, but you got to go. That's how you remove an entity. And, you know, 5 words or less. Same with leaking your power. You've got to put the boundaries up and be like, that's not a place where my attention goes anymore. My power is my power. They are my resources. So forget about time, energy, money, like in regular terms of resources. These are your inner resources that keep you alive and glowing and going. Depression comes in when these things go away. When we're not answering our calls, when we're not meeting our desires, when we're leaking our energy out to all the things and we don't put boundaries up, we're basically telling ourselves we're not worthy, I'm not lovable, and I'm not worthy of holding on to my own power. And like I said, you cannot feed other people through sacred service if you are leaking out your power everywhere else. You have to be able to direct your power. If your gifts are your power, your gifts are part of your power, let's say, you have to be able to direct your gifts to help someone. The gifts are there to help other people, but not if your energy is leaked out everywhere else. So, just looking at my notes here because there's something about power that is left to be said. Your authenticity, that's it. Your authenticity is also a power source for you. So you have to come into alignment with your values. You have to question your values and go, are these actually mine or are they somebody else's? If you've never done that before, they're probably someone else's. Your values are your authenticity. When you have values that are true to your heart and soul, and you act toward your values, you are authentic. You are true to yourself. When you are true to yourself, you are in your full power. Self-agency, freedom, what we enjoy, alone time, our spirits, all of these things are part of our inner power source. Power is not dominance over other people. It's not superiority. It's not advantage, supremacy, or upper-handedness. That's patriarchal power. That's Piscean age power. It's actually not even power. It's stealing. You're stealing the power from somebody else. Your resources, right? Stealing your resources, time, energy, money. Don't let anybody steal your time, energy, money, which basically is everything that you have. Your time, your energy is literally everything. And money, which is also energy. So, moral of the story, don't let anybody steal your energy. How about that? Just bucket it down the energy. I don't know, sometimes the word energy just gets so muddy and convoluted and like everybody uses it and like it just doesn't even hit your brain anymore because it's like banner blindness when you're looking at advertisements and you just don't even see them anymore. That's what the word energy feels like to me. So I try not to use it that often. Dignity, wholeness, your integrity, your ability to affect change. Do you believe you have the ability to affect change? That is the whole, I'm going to forget off the top of my head. What is that called? They're two different mindsets and I'm losing it. It just popped into my head, but what are the names? Growth mindset and the opposite one. I forget what the opposite one is. Basically, for me, what that means is victim state versus empowered state. One is I have the ability to affect change. I believe that my desires create actions that create things in this world, or the disempowered state of no matter what I do, I can't do it right and I can't make my life work for me. I've been down that path. God, have I been down that path? Years, most of my life, actually. Finding this other power, this tapping into this Taurian part of me. I am a Taurus, so it kind of comes a little bit more naturally, but everybody has Taurus in their charts somewhere. Look at what house falls in Taurus. Start pulling in that energy. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Taurus is associated with the second house. This is your values, your self-worth, your money. Venus is also in charge of love and beauty and luxury. All there packed into Taurus. Take those items in there and use them as your power sources. Everybody has Taurus in their chart. Everybody. Everybody has a second house. Therefore, if Taurus is the most powerful animal of the zodiac, draw upon it. Take what Venus stands for and use it. Grab it, hold on to it, let it plug the holes in your jug. Venus is also associated with Mother Mary. So we can round out this whole talk with the power of the divine feminine lives inside of you. And when you embody that, you embody her. And when you embody the goddess, you can do anything. You just have to believe it. So go live in your crazy world for a little while, where the sky is purple and you can float on clouds, and go believe it's possible. Go believe in yourself, that you have the ability to enact change in your life. You are not a victim, even though you may feel like it, even though you may have been victimized. And there, I get it. But it doesn't make you who you are. It only puts a filter on so that your world gets all jumbled up. But you can take off the filter and clean it up. It's a perspective shift. So if you walk away today with anything, I want you to have a sense of where your power is, and that it lies within your ability to believe in yourself and your self-worth and in your own personal expression, which are your gifts to the world. And with that, is there anything else? Okay. Just checking in. Give me a sec. I just keep getting, be the light in your own darkness. And it sounds a little cliche, but that's what's coming through, is be the light in your own darkness. Be the people you're waiting for. Open your cage, because it's not locked. Don't wait for people to pass with crumbs of bread to give you and, oh, poor you, here you go. No, open up the cage and go make a loaf of bread. Get what you need to fill you up. And if you are ready to take the next step, if you feel like you are empowered and ready to overflow your cup onto others in sacred service, I invite you to have a conversation with me about joining the priestesshood. I'm running it for a year so far. If not longer, we'll see. Starts in February, and we will be learning all the things from basics to advanced, finding your place, finding your power, finding your source, finding your light, and honing it in so that you can share it with the world. Thanks for listening to this crazy chat today. I'm so grateful for you to be here. I am going to cancel all your subscriptions, and when I'm ready, I will email all of you and you can re-sign back up if that's the case. More than likely the price will be going drastically down, and I will have a different format for you. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me, and we will chat soon.